G'day, everybody. It's Peps, it's J Dog, and it's a special time of year. That's right, everybody. It's the end of the 2021 season, and we're about to head into a massive AFL finals campaign for 2021. It's 23 rounds down, 198 games. Every state, every territory around the country has hosted a game this year. 18 teams entered the 2021 season, and there's only 8 remaining. 4 weeks of finals action, and just like Highlander, there can only be one. So, J Dog, let's look at this right now. Will it be the Tankers? Will it be the Tarpies? Will it be the Hamburgers? The Hamburgers. The Merged. Will it be the Tin Rattlers? Will it be the Gagglers? Will it be the Focus Group FC? Or the Dankers, who are going to take out the 2021 Premiership? There is so much to look forward to, so much to talk about, and we're going to be doing it with you tonight. Me, Chris Pepper, the great man Jamie Wallace. No more introductions. We're getting straight into it. This is the recap of the last game of the season, and let's get forward into the 2021 final series with this episode of Lace Out. How are you, great man Jamie Wallace?
I'm very, very well. I've got a mouthful of fruit tingles at the moment. They are quite hard to break down quickly, Peps. That's the guy last week who said, any podcasting tips? Don't eat fruit tingles before you're about to go live on.
I would also don't go with the fruit tubes either. Not a good option.
No.
Mate, was it the best final weekend of football that you can remember?
For sure. Whenever can you recall 1 versus, what was it? 2 versus 3, 1 versus 4. Or the other way around. 3 versus 4, 1 versus 2. Never. And then you had that, and then you had the Brisbane and West Coast game. And then you had the St Kilda game at night. Oh, it was good. It was good. Sunday was a bit of a letdown. I'm not going to lie, Pep. Sunday I was a bit flat because I knew the 8 was settled. But Friday through to Saturday night, amazing.
Mate, I'm excited. J-Dog, that round had more twists and turns than the Bathurst 1000. That, no matter which way you look, there was something on. There's a tie. How excited were you for a team to win by 31 points?
Absolutely. And 14 minutes to go, it wasn't on.
Mate, it is going nuts. People are asking, am I still getting excited for tonight? Christ almighty, I am. You want to know where's Wally? Where's Wally's right here? I've got the beanie on. I am absolutely ecstatic of what happened with this round of football. We've got my team. It can even go into Essendon. Even that last round, can Essendon make it? Will Freo bring out something special, or will they fall over in a heap?
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as Chera pulled out, they fell over in a heap. Like I said, so much. There was retirements. Yep. There was axings. There's people playing their last game. There's people we may never see again. And there's so much to talk about. And we're going to go through all the usual bits and pieces. The ladder. We're going to spin the magnets. We're going to be getting into the news with the groundbreaking host, Jamie Wallace. We're going to have 1 week at a time. We're going to get into the trades. We're going to get into everything.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just get into it, my friend.
Yeah.
First thing I want to talk about, I want to get through the ladder because it's the last time that we're going to look at it for season 2021. It is the end of an era. It's the end of the season. So it's a time just to sit back and just enjoy the things to take out of this week. So the ladder at the end of round 2021, round 23 is as simple as this. The D's, yes, the Melbourne Football Club. It took after the siren to get their first top spot since 1964. Gorney did it for us. Best ending to a game ever. Full stop for a Melbourne supporter. Port Adelaide, Geelong and Brisbane. Epic showdown in so many different ways. Port Adelaide pinching second spot from the Doggies. Geelong falling in a heap. Brisbane Lions stealing a top 4 spot from the Doggies themselves. Western Bulldogs, can you believe, would this be the biggest choke that you've seen from a pre-finals team? 3 weeks ago, they were sitting first on top of the ladder.
Yeah.
And then back 3 weeks later, fifth out of the top 4, and potentially going to be going out first week against a rampaging Essendon. Sydney and GWS, Essendon scraping. If you have seen the Essendon supporters, have not heard a word from them on Facebook or any type of social channel. You wouldn't even know that they've made finals, Essendon.
Mhm.
Wet Toast fell apart. St Kilda, you left it too late. Fremantle, you had your chance to pinch it. You couldn't do it. Richmond haven't made it. Carlton couldn't do it on the field, and you can definitely not do it off the field. You're absolutely putrid. Hawthorn, do you want to win games or lose games? They could make up their mind, so they just decided to split it with Richmond. Gold Coast, too much time in the sun up there. Collingwood, geez, you're putrid. And I tell you what, looking at the bottom eight, I reckon North Melbourne have got more of a future than probably half the bottom of those teams right there. They're looking mighty fine, and they're going to have the first round draft pick as well too. The chat's already started. Everybody's looking out for Peps and J-Dog. Buzz has just asked, how old was I back in 1964? I wasn't even born. I was born 11 years later, Buzz, in 1975. It's just awesome. Ryan Noonan, he looked after me on Saturday night. He was there with me saying, Pep, stick with him. I actually turned it off at halftime, and any Melbourne supporter would, because it was when you see 8 goals just go bang, 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 and you're sitting on 23 points and you're 44 points down, you go and put on Hannah Montana on Netflix. That's what I did. But he got me back in, and I thank you very much for it, great man. It's just exciting across the board. So North are going to have the number 1 draft pick, and by God, do they need it. And looking at the ladder, that means Collingwood would be also getting the number 2 draft pick. Is that right, J-Dog?
Well, no. Peps, no.
But when you finish second last, don't you get the second round draft pick?
That's traditionally how it's gone, Peps. But about 4 years ago now, the AFL brought in a thing where you can trade away your future picks improve your hand position in the current drafts. And unfortunately, the season from hell for Collingwood just continues because Peps, tell him why.
Because Ned Guy and his legacy. He fudged them up last year when it came to trades. He fudged them up when he went through the season this year. He signed the Grundy up for $1 million. It's caused so many issues. Do you reckon Jaden Stevenson is just sitting back now going, what an absolute rabble. No coach. Footy director, I don't think they got one of those either. Captain says, I'll have a look at some opportunities if they're available. And you know what we'll do? How about, I've got a great idea. How about we go to GWS and say, hey, how about we give you our first round draft pick for next year, 2021. And in return, you give us a couple of second rounders.
Yeah.
So basically, they could have rebuilt themselves this year with an early pick, maybe split it for a couple of early ones, and they've fucked themselves up. I've said it.
Yes.
And they've just given it to GWS because you know what? They haven't had enough draft picks over the years, have they?
Well, no, not at all. I mean, I think the AFL, really tried to handicap this team when they first came into the league, Peps.
Yep. That guy would be like genital herpes at the moment. He's just a gift that keeps on giving, and it's just not a good one.
Hey, Peps, it's just a bit of fun fact trivia for you.
Yes.
Because I know you're a bit of a trivia man.
I'm a bit of a trivia man. I love a bit of trivia.
And you know how I'm a fan of big words?
Oh, yes, we do know you love your big word.
Synchronicity, Peps.
Good movie.
Guess the club. Well, basically, what I want to share with you is guess the club who 10 years ago made 8th position on the ladder.
Melbourne.
No. Currently on 8th position in the ladder.
Essendon.
And guess what? 11 wins was exactly what it took them to reach 8th position on the ladder. Every other year since then, they would have missed the finals. 11 wins. 11 wins is not enough to get you, in the last 10 years, into the finals. But 10 years ago, 11 wins would have got it for you.
Well, J-Dog, when was the last time you saw 6 teams sitting on 60 points or more?
That's
15.
Barring last year. Yeah, not too many.
Six teams plus 60, 15 wins or more.
Top 4 that's not uncommon for top 4, but for 6, that's
for 6, nah. There's usually a gap. It's been a very, very even season. So, mate, I don't know where to start, mate. Why don't we start with? We've gone the ladder. Do you want to spin some magnets?
Let's spin some magnets.
Spin some magnets. Listeners, do you want us to spin the magnets? The chatters want us to spin the magnets. All right, let's start off. We've got to start off with the good stuff, don't we? We've got to get Juddy out there. Where are you, big fella?
First, Peps. Actually, first off,
Yes.
Peps. Oh no, we can do it now. We'll do it now because I've got a bad one for you when we do that.
Okay, so 3 votes.
Yes.
There's so much to take out of this weekend of footy. I don't know where to start. Super Saturday. We have mentioned how good of a round of football it was.
Yes.
It even started on the Friday. If you want to go to Friday, how were you feeling Friday night watching your mob? Port Adelaide against the Doggies. They're off to a 4-goal start. I know you sent me a text early, basically to say, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
And I basically went, "You're cooked."
Yeah.
For you the guys to come out, and there's 3 words. You remember the Holy Trinity? Remember the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit?
Yeah.
Is
of them.
Yeah, well, is it Wines, Boak, Grey, Port Adelaide? Are they the Holy Trinity?
Oh, that
Old
was good
school.
for us.
Oh,
that was
how
good for us.
How
And
good was it?
when we went 22 points down, I'm like, oh no. But quarter time, gather, and then I reckon from the first quarter onwards, we basically had control of that game. The only thing was for us that our kicking let us down. Any other, if we tied up a couple of those kicks, it would have been a 4 or 5 goal win easily. So if we hadn't have won, I wasn't too concerned other than we weren't getting a home final because I felt that we were the better team throughout the night.
But the issue is that you're saying you wouldn't matter. But where would they have played the final then?
Well, Tassie, it turns out.
Would you have had to go to Tassie?
We would have had to go to Tassie.
Fair enough.
But yes, very, very excited on Friday night.
Doggy supporters not happy at all. They were out for blood.
Yeah. But Peps, to say that you and I, Melbourne and Port Adelaide, would have finished 1 and 2 at the start of the season, it's pretty bloody awesome. It's pretty awesome.
I'm in still a little bit of disbelief. Do you know it's the first time Melbourne have ever won a game after the siren?
Yeah, oh, is it really?
Put that one in your stats bank, listeners. We've lost plenty after it. We've even tanked after the siren. But it was just a massive round of footy. And if you told me at the start of the year we'd be finishing first, I would have gone, get stuffed.
Yep.
We have no right to.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very, very happy because all the issues that we've had as a football club over the years, players playing for themselves, not playing for each other, not playing for the coach, coaching issues, etc. In the space of 1 year, you get 2 new assistants in. There's some belief there. And, absolutely stunned. But you know what? I was very excited. If anyone saw my video on the Lace Out Facebook page, I was slightly excited with a bit of oh my god for about 60 seconds straight.
Well, I tried to watch it, but it looked like you were in an avalanche or something.
Oh, I don't know what was going on.
The camera was shaking.
I was shaking.
It's like sitting in that Cloverfield 9 movie.
Job's not done, mate. Job's not done. We've got 4. Hopefully, there's 4 weeks of footy left for both teams.
Yeah. Hey,
could you imagine if Melbourne and Port Adelaide make the GF?
Oh, that would be special.
The show wouldn't go to air next year.
That would be special.
It would be special.
It
was just a great weekend of footy. It was, then you rock on a Saturday. Hawthorn, X amount of points up with a few minutes to go. Richmond come over. Jackie Rewald kicks the last toe. Sean Burgoyne in his last game, fingertips, misses us out. It blows my mind. The Lions got over by 38. They needed to win by 31 plus. They were able to do it with around about less than 30 seconds to go. Very controversial. Very controversial. The D's had their win.
What was the controversy with that one there?
Well, the umpire called time off. Yes.
Ugh.
Called the time off. There was 24 extra seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Based on that, they wouldn't have got that extra point or the goal after the siren, which means they would have. So there is something there. But once again, you're clutching at straws. It was West Coast, let's be honest. They've been shit all year.
Yeah.
And mind you, they did outscore them 30 scoring shots to 22.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Even Carlton and GWS, and we'll get on to it at the moment. GWS are just doing what they need to do.
Yep.
Sunday, the Saints, you know what? They've let their supporters down all season, but you finished up with a wet sail. Plenty to look forward to.
Yep.
I really liked Dan Hanbury's season. I thought he had a cracking year.
Mm-hmm.
Played one game. Essendon beat
Great game though.
Essendon. It was best game all year he played. And then you got Essendon just doing what they did against Collingwood, and then even the North Melbourne Adelaide game. Adelaide to come out and have 33 scoring shots against North, who have been on fire for most of the season, was awesome as well too. So there was just so much to look at, so much to be excited about. It was just a great last week of footy, regardless of whose team you were.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. What else do you want to talk about, Peps?
Oh, well, I also want to bring up, I spoke about Gordy after the siren, the cracker at the Gabba.
Yes.
Tied games, Friday night, the power surge.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Essendon scraping in. And here's the other one, GWS.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to give them the respect that they gave to Eddie Betts. They wore their they wore their Indigenous jumper in respect to him.
Yep.
And it's good to see that Carlton did exactly the same thing as well.
Yep.
No, they didn't.
Pity they couldn't get up for a win.
No, they couldn't get up at all.
No.
They can't get up as well. So, but there was just, like I said, it's a perfect lead in to hopefully, which will be a cracking final series. And there's not really anybody that stands out as the premiership favourite in my eyes. But I'd love to hear from the people on the chat right now and people listening to this right now. Jump onto the Facebook page. Who do you think is who's going to win this week? So that's a listener question. Can I go with the listener question early, J-Dog?
Sure.
Listener question is this. Who is going to win each of the 4 games this week? It's a simple one. Who are going to be the winners this week? J-Dog's going to throw the listener question up on the Facebook page. If you're watching us right now, throw it in the chat. The 4 teams that will take it out this weekend. Rightio.
Yes.
Anything from you, J-Dog?
No. I've got something for you in the next section, which is old Ronnie.
All right, here we go.
Haley off, Ellingworth on. Bloody Winkus piss.
Alrighty. All right. So I'll let you roll this one off first.
Sure. Peps. Whose birthday was it on the weekend?
Yours.
Yeah, not even a mention. Not even a mention anywhere. That's just so rude, Peps. As a podcast, as a.
Are you serious? I
pilot.
put up a picture of the two of us.
I know you did. When we had more hair.
Yeah, back when
And
we had
we
more
were
hair.
much younger, and we looked much fresher.
And disposable income.
Disposable income. I think we're on the phone to to IT at that time in that phone call.
BT. We're still waiting.
We're still waiting for an answer.
We resigned a number of years ago, but we're still on hold. That's how efficient they are at AU when it comes to BT.
Just great. You just dropped the name of the company in. All right. Peps.
Yep.
The dogs.
Oh,
Gotta be top of the list.
I tell you what,
Gotta be top.
Nude Nut's on the chat tonight already. Yeah.
He
doesn't mind a beverage, I must admit. But geez, he would have been smashing them
Can
down.
I just add a little bit into this, Peps?
Yeah.
Not only was it a 2-point loss that basically dropped them from a double chance, to then have Brisbane Lions win by 2 points over the required margin to drop them to 5th, like, it was beautiful. I actually loved it. I'm like, not only the dogs have to have a heart attack on the Friday night, the Saturday Arvo, they also have to go through it again.
It just got worse. You've never seen a team to win. That's why they should play just all games at the same time.
That was great.
EPL style. But they're 1st to 5th in 3 weeks. And the blood was out for Beveridge. The number of supporters that said they lost at the selection table.
Hey, hasn't won a final since their grand final. How long can a grand final buy you, Peps?
I don't really care. In Melbourne's case, since 1964.
Hey, I mean, you guys are the king of the coach roundabout. You guys have
hold
only had 11 coaches since 97 or something.
Oh, apparently Carlton are releasing a box set of coaching killer cards. They've worked out something with Select AFL. No finals in Melbourne for the 2nd year running. People, just get the jab. For Christ's sake, can you? Can you just get the jab? Because I potentially could witness history and cannot get to it because you're not getting the jab. Get the jab. Otherwise, I'll give you a jab. in the nose. It's a disgrace. Just get it, mate. Let's get back to normality, all right? You've got no hesitation sinking beverages or taking disco biscuits on the weekend, but you won't get a jab because that's putting bad things into your body. Come on. I know a lot of you out there love a little prick.
Peps, because you want to line up of the nuffies you saw on the weekend.
Oh, mate, the nuffies. All right, this is a bit of a rant now. If I had the fry pan sound, I'd go with it. But the number of nuffies walking around in Taylor's Hill, right? If everyone knows Taylor's Hill, it's a big lake down there. I could go to Albert Park Lake. I could go to Hyde Park. Anywhere around the country, around the world, where there's lakes, where people are walking. The complete nuffs walking around in their $450s, $450 Pradas, their $200 Lululemons, their Gucci loafers, their freaking fake tan to the nth degree. They've got their Nina and Pasadena $380 shirts with their Apple Watch on their iPhone with their AirPod Pros hanging out of their ears, but won't wear a freaking mask. Just put the freaking mask on. We don't give a shit what you look like when you walk around. Put the mask on so we can all get back to a little bit of normality. Oh, you've all seen it. It's just fucking shit. I'm telling you. I've had enough of it, mate. I've had enough, especially when we're in Melbourne. We're going to be locked down again.
Hey, if you can't, Peps.
Yep.
Just go join the Saturday rally through Melbourne.
Oh, yeah. And what were you doing? And for anybody who punches cops or whatever, you're low-life scum. Because I tell you what, when the shit hits the fan, they're the first people you're going to ring as well too. So pull your head in on that one as well. It's just, I'm out of control. All right?
Jesus, funny.
Buzz has said this. You're going off track. Talk footy. Buzz, I'll talk about St Kilda shortly, okay, for the last time this year because you're not playing finals. Rightio. It's good to see the Hawks have shafted their coach, their most successful coach in the last 20 years, and you shafted him for an untried.
The most successful coach.
That most successful coach in the last 20 years, and you've shafted him. You panicked.
Yep.
You panicked because you thought he was going to go to Collingwood. Who would even go to Collingwood with these days? The junkies aren't even going to Collingwood. It's that bad at the moment. All right. Another bad one. They've got to get Ned Guy. You've got to get dragged. You're heading for another trade disaster. We spoke about it a little bit earlier.
Oh, he's gone.
What you handed? What? He's gone.
He's gone. Yeah.
Well, his legacy.
Oh, his legacy's still
his
there,
legacy.
though.
There'll be a plaque. Here lies the remnants of Ned Guy's trading and draft disasters. You gave GWS pick 2 for Nick Dacos, and you still might not have enough points to get him. Nuffies. And J-Dog, this one's for you, all right? And I'm going to throw this one also to the listeners as well. The All-Australian squad has been announced, okay? Melbourne led with 7 nominations. I think it was Brisbane came in with 5 as well.
Yep.
How could Travis Boak or Cam Guthrie not even get mentioned, yet Buddy does? It's a Buddy disgrace. It's a disgrace. I cannot say it any other way.
17 games, 48 goals for the years. Exactly the same stats as Tex Walker. Do you think Tex Walker should have got a look in?
No.
One more goal than Bailey Fritsch, who I'd argue has been a much better forward. And Charlie Cameron was he listed in the team?
No, Charlie Cameron's been off the ball the last few weeks, so I probably wouldn't put him in. But I think
still, he kicked 49 goals for the year. 50 goals for the year.
All right, okay. Who would you rather have? Is the Tomahawk in the squad? He is, isn't he? Better be.
I haven't looked at the actual. Has the list or the playing 22 or the squad?
The final team gets announced on Thursday.
Okay.
Look, the other thing I'm really happy about, I think there's been 7. I could be wrong here. 7 people from last year have been nominated, and there's like 21 new people. 21 in the squad that have never been nominated before. That's awesome. That is awesome. Yeah. I don't think Buddy should make it. I think they're just going for the Lenny Hayes factor. Yep. I reckon it's just because, here's why, because they just want to make sure that Jacinta Franklin is at the ceremony for photos.
Should be there anyway, Peps.
And I'll be watching it anyway. All right, so that's a disgrace. But Boki has had a sensational year. Cam Guthrie has had a sensational year. Everybody, listen on the chat right now.
Yeah,
Who
Charlie
should have
made it.
made? Who should have made the All-Australian squad this year? Who's missed out? And who was probably a little bit lucky to get in? Let's be honest, there's probably one or two that you're gone. Really? Absolute disgrace.
Yeah, Tom
All right.
Hawkins, and Buddy Franklin have made it.
Okay. But you know who I'm rapt to see in the squad?
Who's
Tukey Miller. Tuke Miller should be on the wing. Lock it in.
Yeah.
Lock it in. Okay. And look at, here we go. Paddy Ambrose was stiff. Jack Crisp was obviously a little bit stiff. Bootsma was robbed. I thought Lawrence Angwin had a good season as well. Yeah, plenty of them as well. All right. Hey, J-Dog, I think this is where you do your best work. It's usually after midnight. But you are the around the grounds man. Let me put this one to you, people.
Well, quickly, let's just do a rising star. I'll quickly just go.
You want to do the rising star?
And then we'll do around the grounds.
Okay. Who's the rising star for this week, J-Dog?
Connor Iden from GWS has been rewarded for his strong performance against Carlton with the rising star for round 23. He's 21 years old and he picked up 17 touches and 5 marks against Carlton and kept the retiring Eddie Betts to just 2 goals in his final game. He's a 191-centimetre defender and was taken with pick 61, so a bit of a gem there, in the 2018 NAB AFL draft, and he debuted in round 20 in 2019. Round 20, 2019. So
okay.
I like the old 60s. 60s picks seem to be a bit of fit.
It's
to
bargain
60.
basement. Yeah, bargain basement.
I love those ones.
Anyway. Absolute gun. Now, good on you, young fella. Never heard of him before.
No.
But I reckon the future's bright. The future's orange up there with him. So there's a 23 rising star. Who do you think's going to take it out, J-Dog?
Well, I think it's going to be Luke Jackson.
Yeah, you reckon?
Comfortably, which means Melbourne have won the minor premier, the riser. They maybe have a Brownlow medalist on their hands. So if they don't win the grand final, it's going to be weird.
No, it's not, because we're used to not winning any grand finals. So the other stuff's the weird stuff, that we're actually getting nominations in the team. Look, I like Luke Jackson. I think Tom Green, when he got dropped twice this year, doesn't make it easy. Mitch Georgiades, he's got Dixon next to him, so that helps him out a little bit. But he's had a good season for a young fella as well. He would have been the last probably semi-key forward to take it out was Jesse Hogan many, many years ago.
Yeah.
But Jackson, he
signed a 1 year this week. Good on him.
Who's that?
Jesse Hogan.
Oh, good on him. Yeah, he deserves it. He's had a rough trot of it, and it's good to see him making a go. Nick Cox.
Yeah. I'd make an argument for that. Consistent.
But then he has to take. Who does he displace? Sean Darcy, Nick Nat, gone. There's plenty of time, mate. There's plenty of time. It can't be the All-Australian Essendon team. Andy Bridge. Andy Bridge has nominated, I think, 15 people on the chat so far, and funny enough, they're all Essendon.
Hey, you got to know your own backyard before you know anyone else's.
Exactly right. You got to worry about what's going on in your yard beside the people over there. Okay. Craig Jones, first really rarely wins the premiership. Second has the better odds. Okay. I'm talking the rising star, Nick Cox. No.
Hey, I like we're talking Craig. Well done, Craig.
First really wins the premiership. Second has the better odds to win. Hey, you know what? The best thing about odds, you often get them wrong. Okay. Let's head it over to our Around the Grounds man. Now, we know this is where the news happens. He is our news breaker. He is the man around the grounds. We know him as Jamie Wallace. He's the J-Dog. He's called the Scoop Dog. And
I'm not called the Scoop. Trust me, I'm not called the Scoop Dog. I don't be called the Scoop Dog.
Over to you, Scoop Dog.
I don't. All right. So, Peps, question I have here, which is a bit of a rhetorical question. Alistair Clarkson, is he holding up 3 clubs in making their decision on the next coach? So we're talking about the Carlton Blues, the Gold Coast Suns, and Collingwood. So at Carlton, we know about the David Teague thing. We all thought coming in Monday morning that there would be a decision made pretty quickly that it's a bit of sayonara. Turns out not the case. Not the case. So there was an all-club meeting due to be held on Monday. That got cancelled because the Carlton board want to allow more time for the report to go through it and to make their next decision. So David Teague, the current state at the moment, as he's still got a job, and he has got one more year on the contract to run. So is Alistair Clarkson a bit of a carrot there that they're sort of waiting to see what Alistair Clarkson? That's what many people believe at Carlton at the moment, that there is a bit of a carrot there with Clarkson, but they're waiting on what he wants to do in his future going forward. Also this afternoon, there's been some swirling rumors and a bit of the shit kicking going around that apparently there's some real big unrest at Carlton at the moment with the talk of players who may have been not putting on their injuries, but maybe stretching
Bit of mayo.
Bit of mayo on their injury so they wouldn't have to play. That, a bit of the old ECO, as I say, emotionally checked out of the year. So a bit of infighting with the players as well is what we're led to believe this afternoon as well. So a bit of unrest there at Carlton. Some people on the board also want Teague gone. Some people want to give him another year for one more year because ultimately they're going to have to pay the contract out and then they're going to have to rehire another coach. So for a club that talks about their fiscal responsibilities and how they've got themselves back into the black, who knows? I don't know around that one there, just where it's going to end up. The next one is Stuart Dew, which I suppose took me, I don't know about Peps, if it took you a bit by surprise, but definitely took me by surprise about 3 weeks ago when his name started to be brought up as maybe a potential chance that he could be replaced by Alistair Clarkson. Basically, the knock on Stuart Dew really is they haven't gone up, they haven't gone down. They've always landed somewhere between 17th and 14th. So is Dew's time up there at up at the Gold Coast Suns? We know that they haven't really moved forward. We know they haven't really moved back. And is 4 years enough? So that's another football decision or another football department that I'll be looking at making the decision on what that looks like. So, yeah, I don't really know on that one there. I mean, it's a big one. You and I are both big fans of Stuart Dew. But senior club sources cannot confirm or could not categorically confirm that Dew will remain in the job. And yeah, whether Alistair Clarkson has been approached or not, who knows with that one there. But yeah, it's been 5 seasons now at the club, I believe. Yeah, so that's that one there. Other people that have been linked to another role up there as well in the Gold Coast Suns is Nathan Buckley, Michael Voss, Ross Lyon have been linked to senior roles within the club. And assistant Josh Franco will depart for South Australia after informing the club of his exit earlier in the season. So there are some people on the move. There are things happening down there at the Gold Coast Suns. So is that a fit for Alistair Clarkson? And the final one, Peps, which is a bit of it's been the slow burn, and we have spoken about it a lot over the past, let's call it 10 weeks, is the vacant job at the Collingwood Football Club. There has been quite a lot of talk about this. We've had Ross Lyon come out last week and say that he did not want to go for the job and he did not want to apply for it. He sure gave a bit of a clip through this week and said, you weren't actually called. So that was quite interesting.
I love Heater. You gotta love Heater.
Good. He's so good. So a couple of people that are interested there, we had Kingsley. Adam Kingsley was linked to it. We also had Don Pike, the assistant coach from Sydney Swans, was also highly linked to it. But unfortunately, Don Pike has withdrawn his application for the role at Collingwood. On Friday night, Geordie Lewis revealed to us that there is a name that's been chucked up and has interviewed quite well, and it's Triple Premiership line and Hawthorn assistant coach Craig McRae is now considered a strong favourite to take the reins at Collingwood following Nathan Buckley's departure during the year.
Better not.
So
got the cash on it. I got the cash on Kingsley still.
There's a lot of people that have cash on Kingsley. But that was one where Craig McRae has ticked apparently a lot of boxes that the Collingwood Football Club are looking for. So, yeah, I guess these three clubs, Suns, Carlton, and Collingwood, are well within their rights to wait and see what Alistair Clarkson wants to do, because whenever do you get a chance to pick up probably one of the GOAT coaches of all time? Doesn't come around very often. And he has shown that he still has the coaching chops these days to take clubs to another place. So, Peps, what would you do in these three situations?
All right.
Should Carlton keep Teague or wait
All right.
to Alistair Clarkson? Should you? What should you do? What should
I'll ask
Collingwood do?
one question. Let's
Sure.
go with the first one. Carlton.
Mhm.
Do you think Carlton have given David Teague the utmost support,
Mhm.
everything he's been able to do at Carlton in his time, which has been 2 seasons? 2 seasons, J-Dog.
No.
Which have been COVID affected, which affects everybody.
Yeah.
Also, without a footy director,
hmm
announcing a review, which has taken, 3 months plus, which they still haven't made a decision on who the coach has been because they want to make sure they make the right choice.
hmm
By a president who has been around for approximately 3 previous sackings as well.
hmm
And they want to get rid of him to bring in a guy that has burnt clubs to the nth degree. He does get success out of them, but then he's the Jose Mourinho of the AFL. He just wrecks teams full stop. Who half the board apparently want to have and half the board don't. But you want to get rid of a guy who has a better coaching record than I think the previous, it's 5 Carlton coaches before him in everything that he's gone through, and you want to get rid of him.
Yeah.
You are a shambles, Carlton. You are a shambles.
Heat has come on to the board, and people have probably started to ask those backroom
Mate,
questions.
he hasn't come onto
week.
the board. He's been there for 9 years, Jamie.
No, heat, as in like heat, as in
The
pressure.
Heat's been, the easiest thing, and I reckon Craig Jones might be right, the best thing for them to do is probably just fold. Maybe merge with Gold Coast and go to Tassie.
The Gold Coast Blues.
The Gold Coast Sopranos. Sunpranos, get it? Sunpranos. But no, they've let him down. And I was rapt when he came out and spoke about him.
Yeah.
Better when he said, I haven't had the support. I haven't had the love, basically. Best thing that I've heard from my coach, because he put him on notice. You're sitting up there in your ivory tower and you haven't supported this guy. No one that he can lean onto. They gave him support. John Worsfold from a completely different state, Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. You've set this guy up for failure, and you think, Ross Lyon's just going to come on board and change things like that? Nah, there's fractures. You got to get the off-field right to get the on-field right. And the off-field, in the 3 clubs that we're talking about right now, the off-field is a shambles. Right.
I'd say that the Suns and Carlton are shambles.
Collingwood's worse. They still haven't got a president. They can't figure out who they want.
On the board and who they want as their president.
No one wants to go to Collingwood. Collingwood used to be a destination club. No one wants to go there. Don Pike pulled out. Ross Lyon apparently doesn't want to go to Collingwood, but didn't get a call in the first place.
Are we seeing 3? Are we seeing now maybe the emergence of a new type of coach who does want to make sure that the back end is all right before they take a role like this?
Nah, every coach has wanted that from the start. Every coach has wanted that. They need to know what's going on. How would you be a player, right? So here's a perfect example. We're going to get into the trade later on and all that sort of stuff. Adam Cerra has told Fremantle today he doesn't want to be there anymore, wants to go back to Melbourne.
Yeah.
Carlton, with the plenty of room that they've got in their salary cap, are making a big play for him. He doesn't even know the coach is going to be. So he's sitting back now. I want to go back to Melbourne, but you can't even tell me who your coach is going to be. You don't know if it's going to be Clarkson, which you want, obviously. And if it's not him, you then want to go to Ross Lyon, which half the board doesn't want and half the board do, because of his not just on-field, but he's had his off-field discretions as well.
Yeah.
and the third option being Teague, who's there, but you haven't given him the support.
Well,
So,
it's weird because
so what? What's the fourth option? Who's number 4? Because there could potentially be a fourth option if Clarkson says no, and Lyon says no.
well, it's weird. I just find it weird because on Saturday he even said himself, this is quoted from Teague. I understand the club is going to make a decision, and let's be honest, it doesn't look like it's going to go in my favour. He's already talking like he's been defeated. Like
He has been defeated.
And he has been. Like, I have no doubt that has been absolutely exhausting on David Teague and what did it go through.
Yeah.
But to still then go, what, we're now 2 days after, no, 3 days after the last game.
Yeah.
Sorry, 2 days. And he still has no idea. No idea. I think that this is just a club that just really let him down. Really
have let him
poor.
down.
Really poor.
Do you know what? I heard something today, and it was something along the lines of it. I might get this figure wrong, but it's a figure like Carlton have only won something like 3 in the time it's Gold Coast have won 19 games. Carlton have only won like 21.
Yeah,
Or
21.
won like two or three more.
21 out
It's-
of 20, 28, 28. 21-28 record.
Now, here's the thing, right? Let's get on the Gold Coast, all right? Because Carlton's been done to death. Let's have a look at Gold Coast here. Stewie Jew. Now, he's been around for 83 games.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Teague's been around for 50.
Yep.
If we go lower, Justin Longmuir and Matthew Nicks have probably been the other two that have been around for mid-seasons, okay?
Yep.
From last year and this year as well, too. And then David Noble, Ben Rutten, and Robert Harvey have filled in, all right? Jew's sitting at 22%. Almost 23% winning record.
Yeah.
David Teague is sitting at 42%.
Mm-hmm.
Yet they want to get rid of him. 42% with his list. And you can't tell me that Carlton's list is fantastic.
No.
They've got that many overpaid nuffies running around for that mob. Too many in it for me and not in it for we.
Mm-hmm.
And we know who they are. We're not going to mention names, but a lot of them have been brought in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Justin Longmuir was going at 43%. So there's no word on Justin Longmuir at the moment, but he's only 1.6% in front of Teague. But Teague has been doing a piss poor effort.
Yeah.
Okay. Matthew Nicks is at 25%.
Can I put
it's-
a big statement here, Peps?
Go for it.
If the Suns don't lock down Stuart Jew or whatever it is, make that decision, whatever that looks like in the next little bit, because over the horizon, we've got Ben King coming out of contract, Isaac Rankin coming out of contract, Jack Lukosius coming out of contract at the end of next season.
Matt Rowell and Noah Anderson as well.
Tuke Miller is going to sign a big contract coming up after this year. If they don't lock that down, these are another bunch of kids, Peps, who could potentially come back down to your South Australians and your Victorian clubs. Almost, that is now, what is it? We're talking about now 12, 13, 11 years. 2 lists full of young potential
This
kids.
is their third rebuild.
And this crop of kids looks bloody good. But we've said that now 2 other times. Ben King, Isaac Rankin, Jack Lukosius, Matty Rao, Tuke Miller's obviously not going to sign or not going to stay there. I mean, it's going to stay there. That is an amazing crop of kids they're going to lose again potentially because they can't get the off-season,
They can't get games into
right.
these kids. You've got to surround them with some bigger bodies.
Yes.
You've got to give them some help, give them some experience. This is what I would say. This is what I've been saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've got to give them more support off the field. Don't give them more draft picks. They don't need more good young kids. They've got that many. Give them more off support. Give them some more room in the soft cap to get more development coaches up there.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if Clarkson went up there and then he was able to take someone like a Sean Burgoyne up with him?
Yeah.
And on top of that, an Eddie Betts as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You get where I'm coming from here?
Yeah.
Get the support around the kids to show them how to play and prepare properly. That's what they're missing right now.
Do what Brisbane sort of did.
That's what Brisbane did. Brisbane did it. Adelaide have done it. Melbourne have done it. Melbourne did it this year. Melbourne went last year sitting at, what were they? Second last? No, that was the year before. 9th last year. They bring in 2 assistant coaches, changes everything. It can be done. The playing crop wasn't much different from this year to last year. They got the off-field support. Mark Williams has made a massive difference. Uze's made a massive difference. Every club, Ben Rutten's come into Essendon, made a massive difference.
Yeah. So you're saying
it can be done.
You're saying to the Suns, stop being a bit of a retirement, 1 or 2 year playoff into the sunset.
Yep.
Be serious. Get some players up there who want to be there.
Yeah, and get some coaches that want to develop these guys. Exactly right.
Why has that taken 11 years, Peps?
Because they haven't had the right person up there. I don't think, and that's no disrespect to Stuart Dew, but
or Rodney Eade,
or
Guy
Rodney
McKenna.
Eade was. No, I don't think those two were right. I don't think Rodney Eade was right, and I don't think I think Guy McKenna might have been not the best for. And I'm only speaking in hindsight here. At the time, they seemed like great choices.
Yeah,
but that Clarkson going to Gold Coast would be like Ron Barassi going to Sydney all those years ago when Sydney were going down the toilet in '93. He got them back and led them back over those years as well too to get them back to a grand final with Roos, etc.
Yeah.
In '96, like you need a big name to draw inspiration. And if you got Stewie Dew, mind you, and then you got Clarkson walk in, do you reckon that the eyeballs from the playing group are going to go, holy shit?
Yeah.
It's just a completely different thing.
And they're a good footy people. Like
Exactly.
I don't know if you listen to this, Peps, but I listened to Justin Lepich on SEN.
Oh,
he sounds like an amazing football mind. How come you can't get him up there doing something?
He needs to be an assistant coach. I think he's had his time. He's been an assistant coach and a player and a league. He just needs a break. He might like the analyst job.
Yeah, but he just sounds like you listen to him on the radio and you're like, far out. This guy knows his shit.
Knows his shit. And then we go to Collingwood. Like, no one wants to go to Collingwood. That's it. No one wants to go there. Would you at this particular moment in time? They're a farce. Collingwood. Well, that's the only thing you're going to be cheering because you're not going to be cheering. You won't be hearing that much next year. They've got no draft picks. They've got no salary cap room. They're going to have to make more cuts because they gave all their money to Brady Grundy.
Yeah, and they're paying the wages still of a couple of players.
They're paying $300,000 of Adam Treloar, who will be playing finals this week. So you're actually paying a guy to play finals when you're not even doing it.
And if it wasn't for Bont, you'd almost say he's probably second in the best and fairest of the club.
And what about Jaden Stevenson, like I said earlier?
Yeah.
You reckon he's not just smiling back, how good is this? I'm playing with guys who want to play footy and get better. I'll look at Gold Coast and I'll look at North, and North just have like those extra years of experience. They've got the Goldstein. They've got Tarrant. They've got Zeeble. They've had these names to be able to support them and get them. Cunnington.
Yeah.
Imagine those four going up to Gold Coast, how much of a difference it would make. Gold Coast just need probably 3 or 4, maybe 5 older bodies, but not retirement home bodies, and they need good support up there as well too. I love it. Okay, so.
Yeah, look, it's just a fascinating thing that I know this is a once in a lifetime opportunity to maybe land that GOAT coach.
Yep.
And it is holding up 3 clubs at the moment. So still a bit of watch this airspace at the moment.
Yeah, watch this airspace. Alrighty, my friend. Hey, really quickly, I think it's time to open up the wallets because comes the money, my friend. Time to splash some cash. Now, I just want to bring this at the moment because there's a couple of things going on. The finals are still going. Hasn't been much spoken about, but we're going to rip through these. So we spoke Adam Chera from Fremantle, wants to go back to Victoria, wants to go to Carlton. I just don't know who Carlton. Carlton are going to have about 8 players on their list next year. That's it. That's it. 8 players. Actually, I reckon they're going to have to get to 14 to. That's the minimum you need to run out with.
Levi Casbolt's wage go straight onto Sarah. There we go. Save you some money.
You're a putz. Pendles to stay or go. He just wants to jack up his price. They're offering. He wants 2 years. The club is saying 1. You're not going to get rid of Pendles because you know why? He has what? That's right. Basketball background. Patrick Lipinski's been offered 3 years by the Dogs, but clubs are circling. The Blues, funny enough, because they got money.
Yeah.
They must have just got a new shipment of brown paper bags.
Blues. Yep. Mitch Wallace, not Lipinski. You're picking the wrong Bulldog.
Yeah. Marcus Adams gets 2 more years at Brisbane. How good's that? Because
Yeah.
he had a bad run of it. He was looking to get a flag in 2016 with the Dogs, got injured, missed it, gone back up to Brisbane. It was almost a bit of a stopgap, and it's just taken that opportunity in front of him as well this year since Andrews has been out. And George Hewitt from the Suns. Plenty of Idris from Adelaide and Melbourne.
Yep.
Melbourne. You serious with that one?
Absolutely. Can you find a spot for him?
I reckon we could fit him on the one wing. Don't know which one. So there's a bit of splash the cash there. Looking at the retirements, not many this week, J-Dog. We'll probably have a few more. There's been more delistings than retirements, and we don't celebrate people getting the chop. We celebrate people going out on their own merit. So just get a bit of James out in the background as we always do, because we want to say goodbye, my lovers, and goodbye, my friends. But Sherman Burgoyne, tell me a little bit about Silk, mate. What was he like at Port?
It's the wrong music, but anyway, we will just roll with it.
What
you
is
got
it?
Money.
No. What's that one?
That's the money.
No, it's not. What about now? The money's still going?
Yeah, the money's still going.
Oh,
You've broken it, Peps. You've broken it.
James is gone. He's left.
Sean Burgoyne, I thought he was done leaving Port Adelaide. Obviously, he's gone on and played another 4,000 games for Hawthorn. What a bastard. But gone on and won some extra flags there. So 3 extra flags with Hawthorn. Bloody well done. There we go.
There you go.
There you got it right. AA in 2006, 400
It's all
games.
Australian, not Alcoholics Anonymous.
No. Done it all. So well done to him. Basher Hawley, 3 flags from Richmond. All Australian in 2019. Just an absolute solid rock.
He got
there.
better. Like, he was
Way
all right
better.
at Essendon. And I reckon did you just see when he was at Essendon? He lost it all on top. It fell onto his chin. He grew it out, and he just became an absolute gun. Should have won potentially 2 Norm Smiths, but because he didn't have tats and he wasn't marketable as much as Dusty, especially the first one.
And he plays halfback.
Yeah, and he plays halfback, because it's easy kicks there.
And Dave McKay from Adelaide, 236 games with Adelaide. That is a hell of a career, 236 games.
Especially at Adelaide. To spend that much time in Adelaide, that's gutsy. That's ballsy. That's ballsy.
All right. I'm going to fly through the injuries.
Fly through the injuries because, there's a few of them. Just give me, competition rules, mate. 25 words or less.
All right. Western Bulldogs, Steph Martin a chance to play. Hayden Crozier and Ed Richards are not going to be playing because they hurt themselves in a scratch match on Sunday. That's it. Steph Martin played one scratch
You got to play him.
match.
You got to play him.
He does.
You have to play him.
Sydney.
Bloody well. Tim English is doing nothing in the ruck.
Hey, I'd love to have a centerman worth $950 playing ruck in the name of Bontempelli.
Follow the bouncing ball. What could go wrong?
For Sydney, Callum Mills, a bit of a sweat test on him. Whether he'll be going to be ready for the GWS game for the Nation Final on Saturday or Sunday. He was substituted out in the game on Saturday against Gold Coast. Port Adelaide are sweating on Mitch Georgiades. He's half a chance to overcome a hamstring injury. And Orazio Fantasia will be put through his paces after getting some hamstring tightness in the game 2 weeks ago. For Essendon, Tipper Woody played a scratch match over the weekend. Unclear whether he will come back in for the elimination clutch against the Bulldogs. That guy. For Geelong, Zach Tui will be pushing his case to return after straining his hamstring in round 21, and Mitch Duncan appears to be further back in his recovery, although the Cats haven't put a line through his name just yet. The Demons, I think Jaden Hunt is an outside chance of returning for this weekend's qualifying final against the Lions. Originally tipped to miss a month of footy with an ankle injury, but he is the club's only concern running into September, so that's an amazing achievement by the Demons.
Wouldn't risk him.
Probably not.
I wouldn't risk him. No.
GWS midfielder Xavier O'Halloran was subbed out of the match against Carlton, and Scams confirmed that he has a minor calf strain. But hopefully the Giants are hoping that he'll only miss a game or so. Tom Green has also been training strongly and just needs to get through the main session to play and be considered. Brisbane, I don't know what the situation is up there. They haven't updated their injury lists.
Right. Just really quickly with Callum Mills. I had an Achilles, Rico,
Mm-hmm.
because once the Achilles was starting to play up, it was hell.
Yeah.
And it's not something that goes away like that. So if he's got something similar to what I had, he's going to be playing through excruciating pain. And I don't know if you saw any footage of him on the weekend, but he looked lame, big time.
Yeah.
Looked massive lame. Alrighty. So we got one last part, buddy. And this is the question that we threw the listener question earlier on: is who is going to win this week? Who is going to take out the games? Plenty of responses have coming in so far. Just to rip through some of the suggestions. We've got the Love Machine. My brother Mark Pepper's gone Port, D's, GWS, and Essendon. We've also got Charlie Keegan has gone Essendon, Giants, Melbourne, and Port. We've also gone. Oh, here we go, Parko. Jeez, you know what? I was like a waiter. I just fed Parker for years out on the wing. Cats, D's, Swans, Doggies. A few people saying Brisbane, Port Adelaide grand final. We've got $50 side wages going on the chat. Donna Jovanovic and Andy Bridge, they're going Port for premiers. It's all going off at the moment. Looking forward to it. By the Parko's horse, Dusty Tycoon, is racing this week. Get back on it. He loves a tip. And also get onto his page. It's share a page night. JP's Race Day Tips. Get onto it. If you want to donate your money to the tab, he's the perfect place to do it because none of his tips ever come in.
We got Craig Jones said neck minute Voss to Collingwood. Bit of a left field. We thought Voss was done, but maybe he's not done, Peps. Maybe he's back in the race.
Well, I reckon even better is that, what's his name? My mate, Kingsley.
Yes.
He's down at $10 with the bookies. Very, very good. He was at 35s, and I got him at $15.
Andy Bridge said that the right choice is to keep Teague as the coach, in his opinion.
Thank goodness. And I think a lot of people on the chat have also said that as well too. Rightio, J-Dog. 1 week at a time. We're going to get into our tips on Thursday night with Tipped Out. But I think, really, I'm looking forward to every single game this week.
No, Peps, we're not going to do 1 week at a time because we're biased. We're biased.
Yeah. All right. So we're not going to do 1 week?
We're just going to look at some of the questions that people are putting through.
Okay. So definitely looking for the Ds. Definitely looking forward to your game as well. Are you nervous this week? That's probably the thing I'd throw. Are you a bit nervous?
Always. When it comes to Geelong, always nervous because we are their bitches. I've said that a million times.
Look, as long as you don't get 45 points down in a game, you're a massive chance. I'm massively worried. I'm worried about Brisbane. They're a very high-scoring team.
Yeah.
But having a look who they've scored across probably in the last 8 rounds, they haven't played much.
No.
So there is a little bit there. So that saying, it's a final. I'll be shitting bricks, let's be honest. And even with the other 2 games, look, I give Essendon a fair bit of stick over the season. But I hope they have a great game. And just some of the chat that I've been seeing between the Dankers and the Tin Rattlers this week has been sensational. Which has been, especially my side of town, this side of the Westgate Bridge, it's Doggy Central and the Don Lovers, and they've just been punching on. It's like some of the greatest banter. And the Battle of the Bridge, that's just going to be awesome. Buddy versus Hogan, 2 midfields just ploughing on at the moment. GWS have been absolutely sensational. Yeah, looking forward to it. So
on the Gold Coast, we've said Mark Williams, great coach, get up there, get some vets up there. Maybe for Craig Jones, just said get some vets up there for like Hartlett or Pendlebury or others.
I think Robbie Gray should go.
Please.
Nathan Jones would be perfect for that mob, not to play, but as a mentor to that group. He'd be sent.
Andy Bridges said Mark Williams a great coach. Craig Jones has said Mark Williams at Gold Coast. Joel Michael has said pray on COVID to get the Victorians up there. Andy Bridge also said that the Gold Coast are paying $200K of 2 meter Peter salary. That's brutal. Jazz Ruboy Chats, he said North to top 8 next year.
Yep.
We've got that one there.
What's the latest one that came in? Chris Pepper said, leave Mark Williams alone. You leave him alone, he's ours. Hey, listeners, what a cracking episode. Everybody on the chat tonight, sensational. People, when you listen to this tonight, share it with everyone because we've just we've gone our 60 minutes, all right? The siren's rung and it has been a belter. So we're going to go into the games a little bit more in depth on Thursday night with Tipped Out. The teams are going to be read out. We're going to look at these games in depth. No bias.
A bit more time.
With what? So, look, for everybody so far, We can't wait for finals. I know you can't wait for finals. We love the finals lace out, and we know we love you as well too. So thank you for listening. Have a great evening. J-Dog, you've been amazing, but this is where you need to bring your big work in. Finals time, baby. It's Port Adelaide. It's the D's.
Mm-hmm.
More importantly, how do you want your footy? How do you want your finals football?
I want my whole finals football lace out.
Listeners, we want you lace out every single week. What a great show. Go D's!
See you,
And
listeners.
everybody else in the 8, except Brisbane.